Hello everybody and welcome. I just wanted to make this video to bring back to light some things that we saw play out, as I believe we see some of this displayed in R. Kelly's indictment. Now, we see these individuals, once they leave R. Kelly's inner circle, people push them into these book deals and even intimidate them publicly. Yet all this goes under the radar because of the accusations being thrown around. But nobody ever pays attention to the line of events that we've seen play out, which I believe triggered this chain of events when it comes to Dominique, for example. And we can compare this with all these Jane Does and recognize this similar pattern. These people meet these girls, and as I've said from the beginning, it was no guarantee these girls were with Robert Kelly. However, people within his circle knew ways to get these girls to go along with their plans and get these alleged settlements. So if all these people want to write these book deals and all these people want to comply with the media, we see what's going on.
My name is Dominique Gardner, and I'm quite sure you all heard about my mother, Michelle Kramer. And I'm here to let you all know the truth about her, expose her of the liar she truly is. Now, I know you guys are probably judging me like, oh, how a daughter just gonna put her mother out there like that, but truth be told, she put me out there like that, so it's only right that I come back and tell you guys the truth, because she's been putting lies out there, and I'm here to tell the truth. First of all, my mother, she knows where I live. She came all the way to LA pretending like she was sick, tricking me into coming to see her outside of my hotel door, which I did open, because as a daughter, you think your mother's sick, so what do? You want to be there for her. But in this case, she came with a camera crew from Lifetime. And when I opened the door, she ambushed me with cameras. Took me off guard. And I closed the door on her. Because that's wrong. She's trying to make it seem like I'm held captive by R. Kelly. And that's not the case. I am not a victim. And what's funny is that I just spent the whole weekend with her. But I'm held captive. I escaped. No, that's not the case at all. My mother, she's money hungry. She's upset because I stopped paying her bills. Because technically, R. Kelly was paying them. I will ask him for money to give to her so she can pay her bills. And once I couldn't do it anymore, I just got tired and fed up. I told him the truth and he cut it off. And she didn't like that, so she threatened to kill herself, my little brother, and the dog, just for some attention, just because she wasn't getting a paycheck anymore. Like, that's sick. How could you say that about your own child? You're gonna kill your own son because the money stopped rolling in? Like, you guys have no idea. She's trying to play like she's a victim, like she's actually concerned about me, but truth be told, she's not concerned about me. All she wants is the fame, the publicity. Lifetime offered her $5,000 to do an interview, to come to LA to expose, let me see, I don't really know what they was exposing, because as you all can see, I'm good. I'm just tired of the lies. I just want everybody to know the truth. And there you have it. That's the truth, spoken from Dominique Gardner. Don't believe anything else no one say. Like, oh, Dominique said this, I heard Dominique said that. No. What you're hearing right now is what Dominique said, so let that be known. And that's the truth. I'm not held captive, I'm free. Just like you all. So she wanted me to do an interview, going against R. Kelly, like playing a victim, like I actually escaped. No, I left the hotel because she lied, telling me she has an illness. I was concerned. What daughter wouldn't be about their mother? But she only did that just to get a footage that's not going to even be aired because you didn't get my consent. You tricked me to being on camera. Like, who does that? Like, it's crazy. But
one of R. Kelly's former live-in girlfriends is revealing what it was like to spend nearly a decade with him. The docuseries Surviving R. Kelly shows Dominique Gardner's mother tracking her down after not having seen her for years. They made a dramatic getaway. Now, less than a year after Gardner left Kelly for the last time, she tells The New Yorker the singer tried to, in her words, break her. She says Kelly was physically and emotionally abusive. Jerika Duncan is in Chicago, where she spoke to the author of the article. Jerika, good morning.
Good morning. Dominique Gardner is now 27 years old. She says that she spent 9 years dating the R&B singer. She told the journalist Jim DeRogatis that even though she loved R. Kelly, despite the abuse, she said she got 2 tattoos of Kelly's face tattooed on her body.
She was reluctant to speak out.
Jim DeRogatis has been reporting on R. Kelly for nearly 2 decades. Last week, he sat down with Dominique Gardner for her first interview since she left Kelly around 9 months ago.
She said to me, I loved him and he loved me. And when it was good, Jim, it was perfect. And yeah, he hit me. And yeah, he pulled out chunks of my hair. And yeah, he beat me with an electrical cord. But I loved him and he loved me.
Gardner told DeRogatis at one point she lived with Kelly and 5 other women. She said, quote, everything you do, you have to ask Kelly, including when you can eat or go to the bathroom. She said she often disobeyed and then suffered what she called, quote, consequences, including spankings, slappings, and beatings. She seemingly is angry when describing some of what she says she experienced, but yet and still she says he doesn't deserve jail and he's really not a bad person. He needs help.
I think Neek is a really conflicted young woman. There's love, and then there's also fear. There's anger, and there's pain.
Last week, we spoke to Dominique's mother, Michelle Kramer.
I can't understand how somebody say they love you, and in the same breath, spit in your face.
That's what you say R. Kelly did to your daughter?
Yes.
Does Dominique believe she was brainwashed?
No, she rejects the word brainwash. She rejects the word cult. She told me what he tried to do is break me, and I wouldn't be broken.
Now, as I say on my YouTube channel, it's very clear that so many people are doing so much behind the scenes between trying to get power of attorney, shakedowns, and all this extra shit. But the government clearly shows the flaw in their plan. If you listen to their so-called evidence, even with this bribery sting, you would clearly hear that they're trying to get access to the money man that they always referenced on YouTube prior to all these extra channels popping up. So when I put this in your face, it's for a reason, even if you need to go back and play back all you witnessed.
The second installment of a docuseries about disgraced R&B star R. Kelly premieres tonight on Lifetime in Surviving R. Kelly Part 2, The Reckoning. We hear from accuser Dominique Gardner. She appeared in the first Lifetime documentary seen by nearly 30 million people. Now Gardner is sharing her story for the first time on camera. R. Kelly faces sex crime charges in New York and Illinois. Those charges include child pornography, transportation of minors, and racketeering. R. Kelly pleaded not guilty and is in federal custody awaiting trial.
the last 2 years with Rob, felt like I didn't want to live anymore. You know, it was just dark.
The new docuseries tells the story of R. Kelly accuser Dominique Gardner.
Gardner, now in her late 20s, says she spent 9 years with R. Kelly before leaving him last spring.
I get a knock at the door, and it's my mother with a camera crew.
She says she left Joycelyn Savage, one of Kelly's current so-called girlfriends, behind.
It was hard for me because that's not my heart. Like, I just don't leave people hanging.
People are very concerned, and by people I mean your parents.
Last March, Gayle King interviewed Savage and another alleged R. Kelly girlfriend, Azriel Clary.
Can you both communicate and see your parents whenever you want?
Yes. Yes, of course we can, but we choose not to because of what the things they have done out here to the world, saying that we've been held captive, become sex slaves.
Accuser Faith Rogers also appears in the series.
Hate, text, and phone calls. I had to change my number.
Rogers says she was 19 when she met Kelly at a party after a concert in Texas. 2 months after they met, Rogers claims Kelly recorded them having sex without her consent and knowingly gave her a sexually transmitted disease. Rogers says she left Kelly after about a year and filed a lawsuit against him. We first interviewed her in May of 2018.
He asked me how old I was, and I told him. And he's like, you know, if you're really, 16, that you can tell daddy, right?
And again last January.
I'm finding my strength and I'm pressing forward with everything I need to do.
Kelly emotionally defended his innocence regarding all sex abuse during an exclusive interview last year with Gayle King.
I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my life.
Faith's lawsuit against R. Kelly is still pending. R. Kelly's attorney released a new statement in response to the accusations from Faith and Dominique. It said, quote, I have not seen the show Surviving R. Kelly Part 2, so I do not know what lies and distortions they are planning to air. But both of these women are simply out to exploit their past connection to R. Kelly. Look at their social media. They are not victims. They are profiters.